With Superman's debut at the box office, we only have a few weeks before the next superhero movie of the summer and the next big release in July, and that is, of course, the Fantastic Four. The last chance for Marvel to really get a win this year, unless you count Wonder Man, the Wonder Man series that I'm sure everybody is so excited for. But between Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World and the disappointment that was Daredevil Born Again and the disaster that was Ironheart, this is it. And there's a lot riding on the Fantastic Four for Marvel. People are wondering how it's going to stack up in the box office, going up against these other big movies in July. And now we're hearing from one of the actresses involved who's been at the center of some significant backlash for the movie. And she's speaking out about that said backlash. Fantastic Four, Julia Garner responds to female Silver Surfer backlash. And Julia Garner, the only thing I'm super familiar with her from is in Ozark. And I actually really liked her character in Ozark. I liked her as an actress in that. I thought she was really solid. And I'm sure she could play whatever role fine. However, it was the idea in principle. It wasn't the casting of Julia Garner. It was the idea in principle that Marvel would decide to use the female Silver Surfer instead of the Silver Surfer that everybody fucking knows, Norrin Radd. And yes, we understand that in a handful of pages and a handful of comics throughout decades and decades and decades, there is an iteration of a female Silver Surfer. But that's not the one that anyone thinks of when they hear about Silver Surfer. That's the one that Marvel decided to use. And of course, there was significant backlash. And for the design, the way it looked, especially in those first couple trailers, a lot of criticism. Well, now she's finally speaking out about it. Julia Garner responds to backlash over female Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four. I'm just still going to do my job. Julia Garner's finally addressed the mixed reactions from fans after it was announced she'd be playing a female version of Silver Surfer in Marvel's upcoming film, The Fantastic Four: First Steps. The casting sparked online debate, with some fans celebrating the choice and others upset the character's gender had been changed. When asked about her initial reaction to the role, Garner said she actually had two. The first one was, I'm still going to do my job. And also, it's Shalabal, so it's different. And then the second one, I was just happy that people are resonating with it like any other project. So I'm just grateful to be at this dance, to be completely honest with you, Garner said. And I think that, look, in a world in Hollywood where so often we have people ask, well, what do you think about the backlash to this? Well, they just all hate women and they're all racist. That's not a response. Just like, hey, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I got hired to do this role. I'm going to play the part. But then they're throwing in, and it's Shalabal, so it's different. The funniest part about this entire thing is even Julia Garner's response when she was asked to play female Silver Surfer. Do you remember what her response was, her initial reaction? Wait, isn't the Silver Surfer a man? Yes, because everybody knows that. And the idea that you are, again, you do have in a handful of comics, in these like alternate worlds, in a handful of pages, you have female Silver Surfer Shalabal. Completely insignificant to the thousands and thousands and thousands of stories referring to Norrin Radd. Yet that's the one that Marvel decided to play or to use for this movie. That's the one that Marvel decided to use, and we probably know why. And if you've heard some of the leaks surrounding it, and big girl power team up maybe at the end could be in the works, who knows? We're yet to see if those leaks end up being true. But there is a significant amount of backlash for this in general. And it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays, how this plays for Marvel at the box office. We're seeing Superman's box office results, not exactly overwhelming return for Superman at the box office. Fantastic Four is up next. And this leads directly into Doomsday, right? Like, this is the setup. This is the only real setup we have for Avengers Doomsday because it was such a last-minute change. There's a lot riding on this movie. These characters are supposed to be very important for Marvel in the future. And, I'm completely fine with Julia Garner's response. Like, hey, I'm still just going to do my job. Yes, I know a lot of people are upset about this, not lashing out at fans, not doing anything like that. Just say, hey, I'm just going to do my job. And it's just an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of the dance. Fairly good response when we've seen a lot of other people in the MCU and in Star Wars and things like that often lash out at the fans surrounding some understandable backlash.